Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. At a cost of $1.2 billion, the foundation stone for Salalah ammonia plant and Salalah liquefied petroleum gas is laid. The second phase of the Ibri Yanqul Road project is open for traffic movement in the Governorate of Al-Dhahira. The workshop reviews in Muscat the role of higher education in achieving sustainable development by 2030. And the Food Safety and Municipal World Conference discusses food quality in the markets of Gulf countries. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. Oman Oil Company celebrated today in the Governorate of Dhofar the laying of the foundation stone for Salalah ammonia plant and Salalah liquefied petroleum gas (SLPG), which are strategically important projects for the development of the industrial sector and enhancing the economic diversification plans in the Sultanate. The celebration was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad al-Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas, Chairman of Oman Oil Company. SLPG will cost $826 million and will be developed on approximately 20 hectares of land within Salalah Free Zone. LPG and condensate storage facilities will be built at the nearby port of Salalah on approximately 8 hectares. Together with a dedicated export jetty, Salalah Port will become an international LPG and condensate export hub beginning 2020 when the project is fully operational. Oman Oil Company for Exploration and Production and BP approved a plan for developing the second phase of Khazan field for Ghazir gas after starting gas production from the first phase of Khazan field successfully last September. It is expected that the second phase of Ghazir field will start operating in 2021, which will add around 500 million cubic feet of gas and more than 15,000 barrels of intensifies daily. It also expected that the two development phases of Khazan and Ghazir will produce around 10.5 billion cubic feet of gas and 350 million barrels of intensifies. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, received in his office at Muaskar Beit al-Falaj His Excellency Eid Mohammed al-Thaqafi, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia accredited to the Sultanate. His Excellency, the Saudi Ambassador, handed His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, a written message from His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, Crown Prince, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, related to an invitation to attend the concluding ceremony and military shows accompanying the joint exercise Gulf Shield 1, which will be held in Ash-Sharqiyya province in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on April 16th. During the meeting, bilateral relations binding the two countries were reviewed and issues of common concerns were discussed. Meanwhile, His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, received Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Hassan Mohammed As-Salati, Commander of the Qatari Emiri Navy Forces, and his accompanying delegation who are currently visiting the Sultanate. During the meeting, fields of military cooperation existing between the two countries were reviewed and issues of common concerns were discussed. Reviewing fields of military cooperation existed between the Sultanate and Qatar topped the meeting of His Excellency Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, and Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Hassan al-Salati, Commander of Qatar Emiri Naval Forces, and his accompanying delegation at his office in Beit al-Falaj camp. During the meeting, a number of matters of common concern were discussed. The Ministry of Transport and Communication opened the second phase of the Ibri Yanqul Carriage Road project for traffic movement with the length of 17 kilometers, as the total length of the project is 34 kilometers. The opening came under the auspices of His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Mohammed al-Naimi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and Communications. The road is considered one of the vital projects that will activate economic and touristic aspects and increase social contact among people of the governorate. All traffic safety regulations and weather conditions were taken into account in designing all parts of the project. The Ministry of Higher Education organized a workshop on the role of higher education in achieving Sustainable Development 2030. The workshop also focused on education plan and the role of the United Nations in this field, among other subjects. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all were among the top topics of discussions in this workshop.
It is evident from the many presentations the role of higher education institutions in fulfilling the goals and objectives of sustainable development is multifaceted. It does not relate only to the most direct goal concerning education and learning, but also other goals relating to sustainable cities and communities, climate change, partnership with the community, and other goals of sustainable development.
A number of speakers from different higher education institutions in the Sultanate took part in this workshop. They highlighted the details of the Sustainable Development Plan and the pivotal role played by higher education in achieving sustainable development.
Obviously, the fourth development goal on education is the key role where these universities and colleges can participate and help society. We've talked about education, information, training and research as ways to apply some of the knowledge. We've spoken about specific initiatives that have assisted some of the achievement of these development goals, including climate change, sustainable cities, sustainable consumption and production.
In their discussions, the participants reviewed the level achieved globally in terms of gender equality in elementary education. They also stressed the need to enhance this level in all countries and ways to improve it. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
With over 600 attendees and the participation of 27 countries, the Food Safety and Municipal Work Conference is organized by the Ministry of Regional Municipality and Water Resources under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Taimur bin Asad Al Said. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
The Sultanate of Oman is moving into a new phase of development and growth where the issue of food safety would be a critical component for sustainable development in the country.
This conference is the fifth conference on food safety, and it is held every year on this occasion on April second week. In this conference, we are discussing and also sharing experiences from different parts of the world. There are 27 countries participating in this conference, around 43 papers that are presented. We are discussing in this conference different issues about food safety.
Food safety and quality system is one of the main pillars of municipal work, which aims to protect consumer health and safety and public health. The system is currently facing a number of changes and challenges at the local, regional and international levels, such as an emergence of modern technologies in the fields of food industry and preservation, commercial fraud, changing consumption patterns and increasing cases of foodborne and waterborne diseases, as well as their impacts on the fields of tourism, trade, business, education, and health.
This is a very good opportunity for me and for everybody coming from GCC and other countries, because here we are sharing our experiences and any knowledge we have gained in our countries. My paper was about the application of electronic method.
This is my first time being in Oman, and I'm very grateful to come to this conference. This is a very useful conference where we can see that what the government of Oman is doing together, collaborating with the researcher from universities and the scientists, and then this educates the government sectors as well, and then it's a good collaboration and synergy in making food safety and security in place.
The aim of this conference is to address the latest developments in the two sectors, share scientific and practical experiences and experiments with the participation of experts and specialists from different countries and the GCC countries. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Still to come in our news bulletin. Names of winners of Creative Youth Clubs competition are announced in a press conference by the Ministry of Sports Affairs.
Every single day and help people to look neat and clean.
لا غنى دايم ولا فقر دايم والعز عنوان الحياة الكريمة.
الطائر المحكي Talents Competition is a Ramadan competition for Omanis and residents in this sultanate, for males only. Youth creativities and talents, Islamic singing, acting, drawing, filming, traditional arts, magic tricks, sports skills, poetry, and more. Take part in auditions in Muscat on 12th to 13th of April at Avenues Mall, in Dhofar on 19th to 20th of April at Omani Women Association in Salalah, Al Buraimi on 26th to 27th of April at Buraimi University College, in Muscat from 1st to 4th of May at the College of Sharia Sciences. All auditions will be from 6 to 9 p.m. For inquiry, 98020258. الطائر المحكي Ramadan competition on Oman Live channel.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Russia expects Turkey to bring the strategic northern Syrian town of Afrin, previously held by Syrian Kurdish forces, under the control of the Syrian government. Turkey attacked Afrin in March to drive out the Kurdish militia known as YPG, which forms the backbone of the Syrian Democratic Forces, America's main partner in Syria. Lavrov insisted that the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had never said that Turkey wants to occupy Afrin and that Russia now expects Turkey to bring the area under Syrian government control. Syrian state TV said that the 2 buses left early today and that 11 more buses were getting ready to move and take rebel fighters from Douma to Jarablus, a town under the shared control of rebels and Turkey. After a suspected chemical attack on their last remaining foothold on Saturday, Syrian state media reported the Army of Islam rebel group agreed to surrender the town and evacuate their fighters to rebel-held northern Syria. Opposition activists and local rescuers said that at least 40 people were killed in that assault, including families found in their homes and shelters. Dozens of civilians who had been held for years by the rebels were set free, which was a key government demand. They had been by the Army of Islam group since 2013. More than 100 buses entered the town last night to take the fighters and their families to Jarablus. Iran's president lashed out at the United States as Iran marked National Nuclear Day dedicated to the country's achievement in nuclear technology. Hassan Rouhani said that despite its attempts, the U.S. failed to destroy the 2015 deal between Iran and world powers. The agreement set caps on Iran's nuclear enrichment program in exchange for relief from international sanctions. Rouhani also reaffirmed his commitment to the deal and said Iran would not be the first to violate it. State TV broadcast his speech live on Monday. U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly described the agreement as bad. He recertified the deal in January but said the U.S. wouldn't do the same in May. Rouhani also unveiled dozens of nuclear achievements, including a sample centrifuge for the oil industry and laser spectrometer. 5 people sustained minor injuries after a strong earthquake hit western Japan today. The meteorological agency said the magnitude 6.1 quake struck 12 kilometers underground near Oda City, about 800 kilometers west of Tokyo. The quake also rattled nearby Izumo, home to one of Japan's most important Shinto shrines. No damage was reported to the shrine. The Fire and Disaster Management Agency said the roads were cracked in some locations, while more than 1,000 households lost water supplies and dozens of homes were left without electricity. Dozens of train services in the region were delayed or suspended. A landslide closed a road and damaged many buildings. There was no danger of a tsunami. Now back to some more local news. Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan Armed Forces, and Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Hassan al-Salati, Commander of Qatar Amiri Naval Forces, discussed military relations existing between the two brotherly countries, means of developing them, and exchanging points of view in addition to a number of common concern matters. Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, with Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Hassan bin Mohammed al-Salati, Commander of Qatar Amiri Naval Forces, reviewed a number of matters of common concern between Royal Navy of Oman and Qatari Amiri Naval Forces and means of developing existing cooperation. Major General Salim bin Musallam Qatan, Commander of the National Defense College, received Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Hassan al-Salati, Commander of the Qatar Amiri Naval Forces, and his accompanying delegation. During the meeting, both sides exchanged cordial talks, points of view of common concern in various academic and training fields. The guest was briefed on the National Defense College, its facilities, and its modern equipment. Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Hassan bin Mohammed al-Salati, Commander of Qatar Amiri Naval Forces, visited Sultan's Armed Forces Museum at Beit al-Falash Fort. He reviewed historical manuscripts and models that symbolized various Omani architecture arts. The guest and his accompanying delegation were briefed about the development of the Sultan Armed Forces under the glorious era of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The Royal Army of Oman, represented by South Oman Battalion, elements of the Sultan of Oman, parachutes, engineering and medical services of the Sultan Armed Forces, with the support of Royal Air Force of Oman and units of the French Armed Forces, today carried out the demonstration of the joint exercise Mountain Warrior under the auspices of Major General Matar bin Salim al-Belushi, RAO Commander. The demonstration took place in the Rabkot field in the Governorate of Dhofar. This exercise came within the framework of the training plan adopted by the RAO Command in order to raise the level of training and combat performance among the RAO personnel. The Ministry of Sports Affairs in a press conference announced the names of winners in Creative Youth Clubs competition. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
نعلن نتائج مسابقة الأندية للإبداع الشبابي على مستوى السلطنة للموسم الخامس 2017-2018.
55 winners have been announced in the Creative Youth Clubs competition for the season 2017-2018. The Ministry of Sports Affairs will crown the winners of this nationwide competition on April 16th.
Today we got the result for all the competitors. We've been working for almost like 4 or 5 months for this competition, and I think a lot of guys, they got very excited to be in charge and to join this competition. As I've been working for the theater part, we got almost 35 shows around all Oman, and this is a very important, I think, for them to join this kind of competitions.
The competition aims to attract young people to clubs and sports complexes and to develop the institutional youth work in order to attract the talented and the creative in various youth activities. This competition also focuses on developing youth abilities and enabling them to interact with various cultural, social, artistic, and sports activities. The 5th edition of this competition was divided into 2 categories. The first for 10 to 15 years old, and the second for 16 to 30 years for both genders. The 2 categories included different types of arts, such as fine arts, digital design, chess, poetry, sports commentary, cinematography, photography, theater, speech, and the art of الشلة. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
Highlighting what has been achieved in data compliance with the Project Electronic Census of Population, Housing and Establishments 2020 were the main pillars of the meeting of the project's technical committee. The meeting also discussed mechanism of linking with population databases. The committee got acquainted with study outcomes of Consultation Office for e-Census Project 2020, which included reviewing of variables and statistical indices, indicators, along with the importance of data quality according to the approved standards. The committee as well discussed media campaign of the project and tenders that will be awarded in the upcoming stages. The Earthquake Monitoring Center at Sultan Qaboos University reported that an earthquake measuring 2.2 on the Richter scale and about 6.2 kilometers underground occurred this afternoon near the wilayas of Nakhal and Bidbid. The center pointed out that no damages were recorded. More than 200 representatives of French tourism companies took part on the 9th meeting of Seller Companies Network for Tourism and Travel, in which they praised the well-organization of the meeting that was hosted by the Sultanate with support from the Ministry of Tourism. The participants in the meeting expressed their admiration of the diverse touristic potentials that the Sultanate enjoys and the touristic sites which embody the deep-rooted heritage of Oman. They as well expressed their impressment of the warm hospitality of Omanis and the security and stability in the Sultanate, which will reflect positively in the touristic movement in the future. Under the title Elderly, the Directorate General of Health Services organized a workshop in the Governorate of Muscat. The workshop aimed to spread awareness among the members of the community towards the elderly, as well as their great role in teaching the younger generations the good values and traditions. It witnessed an active participation from various segments of the society and included a number of lectures on elderly care. The Colleges of Applied Sciences Annual Symposium was held in Sur College for 2 days under the auspices of His Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan al-Dib, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Here is a report by Sultan bin Saif al-Sarai.
The Colleges of Applied Sciences Annual Symposium 2018 came under the theme Technology and Entrepreneurship in Sustainable Development. It aims to reinforce the importance of scientific research and creates a platform for academics and researchers from all higher education organizations in the Sultanate.
I think technology and the entrepreneurship is two tools that cannot go out of each other. Any entrepreneurship, they need technology to improve their businesses. I think now the technology, according to what we hear today from the main presenter, that is very crucial for the expanding of the business, for the success of the business. We are now in the fourth generations, and it all depends on technologies and new ideas and innovations. So this type of ideas of the new technology that we are seeing now, that will create the new businesses in the world.
The two-day event included 7 sessions, contained various papers, talked about a number of topics that are related to entrepreneurship and technology, where each session focused on a certain area of the theme. It also contained scientific posters exhibition.
CAS Annual Symposium derives from the Colleges of Applied Sciences strategic plan, which encouraging the scientific research. And this year Annual Symposium is driven actually from the Oman Nationals conversation, which encouraging the technology and entrepreneurship.
This symposium is part of the Ministry of Higher Education series of symposiums that are organized annually to reinforce certain parts of the academia, and they come under different theme every year related to current interest in the Omani society. This annual event is considered as a hub for academics and researchers from all around the Sultanate, where they get together to present their latest studies and papers which are related to the symposium's theme and to exchange ideas and experiences. Sultan bin Saif al-Sarai from Sur College of Applied Sciences, South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern governorates. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of South Al-Sharqiyya, Dhufar and Al-Wusta. Winds will be south to southwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. At a cost of $1.2 billion, the foundation stone for Salalah ammonia plant and Salalah liquefied petroleum gas is laid. The second phase of the Ibri Yanqul Dual Road project is open for traffic movement in the Governorate of Al-Zahira. The workshop reviews in Muscat the role of higher education in achieving sustainable development by 2030. And the Food Safety and Municipal Work Conference discusses food quality in the markets of Gulf countries. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and good night.